So, the light side of this review, it sounded fantastic, didn't it? 10 out of 10, an almost sparkling perfect game that highlighted the Star Wars franchise. Oh, let's just say that this time, in this part, things aren't gonna be getting nearly that positive. I've warned you, it's time to get down to the dirty business. So without further ado, let's get this raving review started. Racial options. If someone came up to me and inquisitively asked, "Hey, Tombatal, what's Star Wars?" I'd probably think they're trolling me, so I wouldn't even respond, and two, I'd be seriously concerned that they'd be using my internet name in real life. But to give a real answer to the question, I'd probably say, "Dude, are you serious? Where the hell you been living?" But if they were, actually pushing, they legitimately wanted to know, I'd probably start droning on and on endlessly about lightsabers and huge ships, epic battles, space opera, etc., etc. And I'd probably think about the uniquely designed races that are in Star Wars, and they became a staple element of the sci-fi genre in general. Fortunately, these kind of creatures are featured within Old Republic. When you play, you can find the insect-like Rodian, the massive Yeti-like Wookiees, and even those cute little Jawas. However, prepare for disappointment, as you actually can't play as those. When you create a character, the races in Old Republic are contested into 9 different races, which have restrictions based on class, and truly it blows. Instead of creating something less contrived, you're stuck with these choices. So, first of all, you have the bland, boring humans. And by the way, if I may go on a tangent here, I always hate playing a human in games. If I wanted to do that, I'd just play myself in real life. I'd be doing the exact same thing I'm doing now, looking the same as I am, Goes without saying that the best reason you want to play a fantasy game is to run around and live as a big-ass, giant, 8-armed son of a bitch, So, next you have the cyborgs, which are just humans with metal superglued on their faces. You've got the Miraluka, which are humans that are born blind with the special ability to start out wearing a helmet at the beginning of the game. Wonderful. You have green-tinted humans with tattoos. You got blue-tinted humans. Shitting me right now. You got bald, pale humans with piercings and tattoos, running up the whole emo thing. Starting to sense a theme here, guys. In fact, the only cool races you have to play are Zabraks, which look like spiny-haired humans on the Republic side, so if you're playing good, they don't really count as a cool race. Or you can play on the Empire side as the Zabraks, and they look like carbon copies of Darth Maul. So, if you want to copy that character design, great on you. I kind of like to make my own unique thing. In fact, in my opinion, the most interesting race is the full-blooded Sith, which are really, really cool looking designed, and they have a great backstory, as they're the actual race of the Sith. So before the movies, you can actually play it as the race that they talk about, and that's a really neat idea. Unfortunately, you can only play these as a Sith, obviously, so that kind of takes away your choice. So when I start up a game, for example, guess which side I'm going to be going towards? I'm going to be going towards the side which has the cool races, right? So like I said, it really cuts my choices. And free-to-play players are even more fucked to play. They only have 3 races out of the 9. You can use humans, cyborgs, and Zabraks. Well, there goes my cool option that I just discussed, right? Why couldn't we play as these guys? I'm sure I'd like to troll up the story as a big-eared Sith. That'd be a lot of fun. Or, what about these? How about these? Look, I know they're not from Star Wars, but I'd be willing to stretch my disbelief here, guys. Come on, Bio, Krogan DLC 2013, make it happen. You can give it away for free as reparations for Mass Effect 3. Free-to-play restrictions. There's just too many for me to list, review separately, and pick at unless you want a 5-hour review here, guys. Instead, let me just quickly go through them. Lowered XP and no rest XP. It's hard enough to level as it is, and while the decrease in XP gain isn't terribly bad, it's quite noticeable, and you can spot the subscribers from the non-subscribers by seeing the players that are a level or two higher than the others in the zone you're questing in. You'll go through all the zone side quests, or you'll have to instance grind to be able to get to your next class quest at the proper level and stay with everyone else. Credit cap. The cap on credits is pretty bad too, not allowing you to pick up the best items in the auction house or afford the cost of day-to-day spending. Also, since everything costs more for free-to-play players, you'll be struggling to earn a good income. You also won't have enough money with the cap on to buy the majority of cool options in the legacy system. I'll talk more about this later. This strikes doubly as hard since I was so unhappy with the free-to-play race options. So you can't even buy extra races if you use all the 200,000 credits you can earn in the game. You know, that's as bad as you can get. You give hope to people like me that you can actually buy new races if you put some time into it. And just seeing that the fact that you can't get it even if you earn all the gold, you just kind of kill my hope. It's bullshit, guys. Bullshit. Only 2 characters per account. Really? At the start, this was a really hard one to swallow. Choosing 2 out of the 8 fantastic classes and stories to follow was a huge deal breaker to me. I didn't even know if I wanted to start playing the game when I heard it. That is, until I figured you could just create 5 or 6 accounts and create 2 characters on each account. So you can have as many characters as you'd like, as long as you switch around through each account. It's a bit of an inconvenience to switch, but hey, that's what it means to be a cheap bastard, and to break the system. Only downside is that it also breaks the legacy system. Good luck taking advantage of it with only 2 characters. No speed ups till level 15. If you're not aware, one of the changes to the game was the inclusion of the sprint option. It allows your character to move 35% faster, and this made the game a lot more smooth since it reduced your traveling time while doing early quests and made it much more enjoyable to get into. Free-to-play players, however, they can't access it until level 15, meaning your leveling is pretty time-consuming early on, especially when you get used to a character with it on and then make an alt and try to reroll. You're definitely going to notice it. On that note, mounts also aren't available until level 25, and that's just as well because with the credit restrictions that I talked about before, see, it's all coming back here, it'll be level 25 before you can even afford one. Server queues. Well, what do you want me to say here, guys? Everyone knows it's a big pain in the ass to be sure for free-to-play players who have to get queue times where the subscribers have to skip to get out of the line. All I can say is get used to seeing this during peak hours. Enjoy. Inventory is capped and you have no bank. Inventory is capped unless you're a subscriber. To me, this isn't really a big deal, however, as your companion can carry off all the gray items to sell, a la Torchlight 2. You wouldn't even notice this flaw except for the fact that it's combined with no accessing your personal bank, which means eventually while you're playing through the game, your bags are going to get full. It's quite odd to have access to your own personal starship. Later on in the game, you have an entire roster of teammates serving you. Have a personal droid who caters to you. You're going out fighting space battles with this awesome ship. You even have your own holodeck so you can call up your homies. But you can't access your starship closet because you don't have the key. You're not allowed. Fantastic.